All right, welcome to the episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. I'm your host, Norman Kinsey. We have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
As always. And before we intro who today's special guest is, please big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below what you're going to learn. And today we have a keynote speaker, we have a coach, we have a powerhouse, we have someone that just went through some very intense surgery, and she's already hit 6 different cities out there crushing it. Today we have Marki coming in all the way from Chicago. Welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology.
Thank you for having me. What's going on?
What's up? Of course. So the show is all about you and your business and getting into your story so individuals can kind of get a different perspective from our side of the show and what we have here. So tell us from like the beginning, did you always want to be a keynote speaker? Like, was real estate always going to be the go-to? Like how? How'd you get here?
So I was born and raised here in Chicago. So I have essentially been almost in the same location now for almost 52 years. Wow. I am a proud Chicago 5th generation entrepreneur. My family owns Chicago's 2nd oldest Black restaurant. We've been in business since 1954. Wow. And we have sold more pork rib tips than anyone else in the city of Chicago.
Damn.
Oh, man.
So what I would say is I was born to be an entrepreneur. I had no intentions on coming into the world of real estate. My undergrad degree is in hospitality management. My master's degree is in business administration. And once I earned my master's degree, when I was 25, I started teaching immediately on the collegiate level hospitality management.
Okay.
I was just going to be the queen of barbecue. That was it for me. We owned a concession business, a catering business. Maybe you heard of the Taste of Chicago, the Blues Fest, the Jazz Fest, the Gospel Fest. We were doing all of those back in the 80s and the 90s. And so I came into real estate in 1999 after going through a bitter lawsuit with my father's sister about the trademark rights for the restaurant because I owned the trademark right. And what I knew was when I came into real estate, I wanted to earn an above average income, yet feel like a stay-at-home mom because I was an unwedded mother. And I will tell you this, in 2019, when my oldest son graduated from college with a degree in finance and a job offer at Accenture, I realized real estate had been my everything, right?
Okay.
And so right around 2006, I went on to the board of directors of the Chicago Association of Realtors. And what I knew was my mentor told me that I needed to become a licensed real estate instructor, a pre-licensed instructor, and a continuing education instructor. And to me, that made sense. And let me tell you why. When I had previously taught on the collegiate level, when I was 25 years old, I'd only taught for 1 year on the collegiate level because I realized I was only teaching theory. I didn't have any real world experience. And so I had always said, when I get 40, I'm going to come back into the classroom because then will have gone through some things and I can teach adult learners. Yeah. So when he told me to get the license, I got the license because he told me to get the license. And I was kind of instantly good at being a real estate instructor based on my entrepreneurship background. I also did a stint, and I call it a stint, maybe it might be a sabbatical, at Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. So I worked as a pharmaceutical sales rep for 2 years. So I had professional sales training, entrepreneurship training, which is often missing from the world of real estate. And I incorporated that into the classroom. And then over time, I stopped calling myself an instructor, started calling myself a trainer, and then I became a real estate keynote speaker. So the transition has occurred in real estate education ever since 2006. So now 16 years, I've been in the classroom teaching realtors.
Wow. From hustling, the whole family hustling in Chicago to like all the things that you did to now being in real, wow, that's amazing and good for you. So then did you do any, like, did you do transactions? Like, did you traditional buying,
Oh
selling,
yeah.
all the
So
transactions?
we're having an award show here in Chicago. So I was in the top 10% of realtors in the city of Chicago my first year selling real estate.
Okay.
And so I have had the opportunity to do a lot of different things in real estate, from being a top producing agent to flipping houses, to recruiting. And
Wow.
right now I have 13 different streams of income from real estate.
Wow.
Congratulations. All the viewers and listeners out there, we brought you one today. We brought you a powerhouse. Man, Marki, congratulations to you and all your successes. And that's amazing. And it's amazing that you did what you did and you got in and you got the practical experience. And then you said, you know what? Like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. And so, wow, that's amazing. And so I know you said you just got through with like 6 different keynotes since your surgery, but on average, what are you doing as far as keynotes in a 12-month calendar year?
So pre-pandemic, which we will do again this year, 100 face-to-face events per calendar year. So 2019, actually 2020, I had 100 events booked and they all came crumbling down on March the 13th, 2020. In the pandemic, for essentially 18 to even now, I'm still doing virtual events, but that first year we did 125 virtual events.
Wow.
So now, with my insaneness, I will do 100 face-to-face events this year. And I will likely do, oh my, I don't even want to say the number, probably about 100 virtual events. So I'm weaving them in and incorporating them. But the face-to-face is what I thrive off of. And let me say this, I'm a workaholic. So anyone who comes into real estate, and they're looking for this 20-hour work week. I was born and raised in the restaurant business. And so what I do, to me, is easy in comparison to what I was raised to do, what I saw my parents do, what I saw my grandparents do. And so I'm having fun. I'm hanging out with my girlfriends, because 65% of realtors are females. And my number one age bracket that I engage with is 45 to 54. So I look at what I do as me hanging out with my girlfriends every single day, teaching them how to do something different.
I love that. I was just talking to an agent about this, more on the liftoff side, that like, hey, like, act like you're speaking to your friend, your spouse, whatever. When you're doing video, just be your true, authentic, real self, and it's all good. Like, I love that about you. It sounds like you're just like back to back. You're like, all right,
let's
go. Fly out here. I'm gonna bring my laptop. I'm gonna do the keynote inside the room, and then I'm gonna go and do an actual real life keynote in person. And wow, like that is just phenomenal. So I'm just curious I'm just curious personally. What was your largest audience that you spoke in front of?
Probably about 1,200 people, 1,200, 1,500 people. So I have this. Well, let me say this. I don't know if I'm going to get it this year. I am a 8-time realtor conference speaker. I've worked for Inman. I've worked for Realogy. So I have had partnerships and agreements with the top real estate brands in the country. And at a convention center, you're not going to get probably more than 1,200 people in their largest room.
Wow, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I mean, you pretty much already answered. Last question before we go to the mix-up round with Dan is like, what's the best part of what you're doing with your company? But it sounds like hanging out with your girlfriends, like
hanging out with my fellow realtor girlfriends who have or are still married. They're college educated. They own their home. Like, we have so many things in common. Look, then we all have a real estate license. We're all realtor members. A lot of them have invested in education, so they have a designation or a certification. A core group of them are major investors. And so we're hanging out talking about all these different elements, but it's truly what we're passionate about. And over time, I've just so happened to almost be the average age, which is 54. I'll be 52. So it's like my sweet spot. And, I'm going to take this into retirement. I'm going to hang out with my girlfriends. We're going to retire together. We're going to have the same issues at the same time. And my joke now is we all wear bifocals, right? So that's
all
joke.
Good.
We all good. Can't none of us see.
Well, everyone here at the Liftoff, and also Real Estate vs. Technology family are going to be following you throughout the whole entire process. And her link's down below, so you need to go ahead and follow this miss right here. And I'm going to go ahead and change the camera angle, give it to Dan, and Dan, take it away with the mix-up round.
Uh-oh.
I'm just blown away. I've never seen so much energy and just positivity from one of our guests that is doing it right and sharing the wealth of knowledge. But this segment is technology. What's really I want to kind of mix it up. This is a mix-up round, but what type of technology are you adapting to now to really help your real estate business take shape?
Adapting. So I'm gonna say what I'm adapting to, but I'm gonna tell you what I think I need. I would definitely say Reels, because right now, if you took a look at Meta, they've stated, or better yet, they have a $1 billion bounty, and they're paying up to $35,000 per month for Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels. And was just reading a new study coming out of YouTube with the YouTube Shorts. So those vertical short videos that are either education and entertaining, which is kind of changing up my video style, even though I love video. And emerging, we're gonna have to get down with this NFT and the metaverse. And so I know what I need to learn, right, to be right ahead of the curve, but we still have a lot of people who have not implemented any form of a video strategy.
Oof, so true.
Totally true. And what would be your number one lead source right now, as your business has been in production for a while now?
Facebook Live video content.
Oh, we've never heard that one. Tell us more.
Okay, so when I think about Facebook Live video, I add a call to action, and I add a link to a landing page. So I believe in the person who has the most landing pages can generate the most leads. But I wanted to apply a strategy to that, which I call my 8x8, reaching out to 8 people by 8 a.m. according to their Ford, their family, their occupation, their recreation, and their dreams. There's no place like Facebook where my spirit, now I'm not going to say Facebook is the place for everybody. Facebook is my sweet spot, where that age bracket, the fact that their females are hanging out in real time, telling me all their business. Now it would be, Instagram would be a close second. So I hang out where people are telling me all their business in real time, updating my customer relationship management system and strategically reaching out to them. And it's not about me, it's 100% about them. But when I'm reaching out to them, it is the videos that are populating higher in their news feed. So they know me by my name. They know what I do. They know my husband's name. They know my children's names. And so being consistent with creating video content in some of those, we definitely add a call to action and a link to a landing page.
That is, wow, we've been preaching this for years. It's just music to my ears to hear you reassure this. But what you're basically telling me is that you've mastered the form of digital relationships and actually dialoguing, communicating with people about the things that really matter to them.
Yes.
Okay.
You summed it up right. That was nice. You put that right little bow on there. That was perfect. Yeah. And you know what kills me? If I was to go back into, let's go the 1990s, right? We were buying these lists, and the list would have like the address and if they had a degree. Well, now I know your children's name, your children's birthdays, your pet name, your pet's birthday. And we're celebrating children, not annually, but I have friends who are becoming grandparents. We celebrate these kids every single day. Oh, they 1 day old today. They 2 days old. Look what they did on day 3, right? Where it used to be first birthday, second birthday, third birthday. And so they're telling you this because it's important to them. Come and listen. Be nosy on the book and update your customer relationship management system. And it costs you absolutely no money. And the rule of thumb is, if you were to add 2,880 contacts to your customer relationship management system, and this is assuming these were cold leads, you would be able to net 20 additional transactions. Well, if I do an 8x8 that costs me no money, I'm going to make 2,920 touches. That should net me a minimum of 20 additional transactions per year. But consistency is key.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about from this device, still laid up in bed, still got gunk in your eyes. that you're strategically reaching out because you can update and do everything right here. You don't even have to get out of your bed to do what it is that I'm saying to do, but you still have to do it.
It's the metric of success that you've reverse engineered. You've created a touch program. You know how to drive traffic to landing pages. You know how to engage and ask right questions and use psychology to your advantage. My biggest question, and to end this round, right, is what is this going to evolve into as technology makes it easier for people not to be in contact with a realtor?
What will this evolve into as technology makes it easier? To me, what I'm always doing is I bridge online and offline. So just as I'm social online, I was social offline before Facebook. I was doing direct mail campaigns, going to all the parties, hanging out in the streets all the time. Technology has allowed me to now bridge that. And so at any given point, and I'll give you an example what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a lot of single women out here, right? They always complaining, but then they jump up and they'll go to Miami, Tulum, all these hot spots with a bunch of other naked women, right? Well, it's going to be hard to get attention in that spot. So I realized I was in Fayetteville last week, Fort Bragg, the largest Army base in the country. So I've been telling all my girlfriends, if you really don't want to be single, I need you to do a national Army base tour. I want you to go where they're at every single day. We're talking about employed men with medical insurance, right? And you don't have no naked competition, where they can get the opportunity to get to know you if you really want you a man, right? So I apply that same strategy. I'm understanding the behavior of people who I do business with, and it's my responsibility with or without technology to put myself where they are, period. And the more you do that, the better off you will be, right? And so to me, in the Chicagoland area, I doubt it if there is a more visible real estate agent than me, and I'm spending 100 nights per year on the road. Why? Because I'm willing to do what they don't do. That's create video content. Why? Because people know my face. People know my voice, whether they see my face or not. I make people stop. They look up because they hear my voice. Well, that is something that a lot of platforms aren't doing. And that's giving me that visibility, and I still will pop up in the nightclub on you. So those are just some of the things you still have to. It's a combination. So if they pivot, guess what we got to do? Pivot. Like I told you, I pivoted from 100 face-to-face events to 125 virtual events. Now I'm doing them both.
Let me finish this because I think this is the funniest thing I've ever heard. You're not only the digital mayor of real estate in Chicagoland, but you are real estate in Chicagoland. You've defined it.
Yeah, I am. I mean, it sounds arrogant when you say it, but yes, but I was strategic about doing that, right? Closed mouths don't get fed and secret agents don't get found.
There you go.
Don't be private.
Yeah. Back to normal. That was like one of the best mix-up rounds we've ever had.
Oh my God, dude, Dan, thanks for taking on that round. And to sum it up, the acronym she's talking about is CRM for anyone who's listening out there. And I love what you're doing, Marki, because it just makes sense where now you could be on the road and you could be on your phone and you could still be nurturing everyone back home in Chicago as you're out and about doing your thing, which is phenomenal. And I love that for the viewers and listeners out there, there are no excuses besides the excuses that you make up for yourself, because you can see Marki right here said, I already see all the excuses. I already see what's going on. And you go to all these events, and I'm going to deep dive into some event talk real quick, because I'm sure viewers and listeners now are going to, that didn't know you, are going to know you now. They're going to look you up. They're going to want to go to your talks. We'll talk about that here in a second. And before we do, I just got to say, like, you're just literally no excuse, doing everything and at the highest level you possibly can. And I'm sure you go to these events and you do these keynotes, and you know that, like, what, 90% of them, only the top 10% are actually going to take what you're saying and apply it. And you're giving all your secrets away, and they're like,
You're absolutely correct. Only 10% will implement. So I told you I was born and raised in the restaurant business. And if you ever go to a Famous Dave's barbecue restaurant, there's a picture of Lem's Barbecue on their wall. Why? Because when they decided they wanted to open Famous Dave's, they came and they talked to my grandfather, Mr. Lemons. Now, my grandfather did not even graduate from 8th grade, but his business philosophy was competition is healthy for business.
Yes.
Marki, give it all away because it'll make you better. So I'm
Man.
consistently giving it all away, but I told you what I need to learn. So I'm keeping in mind, I need to stay abreast and current on this subject matter while I'm learning and implementing new strategies.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Amen. So top 10%, they go to your event. Anyone who's watching, they go to your event, top 10%, they actually apply what you're actually saying, hey, you got to do. So success, case studies, give us like, what have you seen from your keynotes that people like reached out to you and said, Marki, this is just phenomenal. I've grown my business. I've done this. I've done that. We'll love just some case studies and some things for people to like look out for when they do go to your events and they do check out one of your keynotes.
Well, one of the things is I always tell realtors is I'm going to teach them how to earn up to a 2,682% return on their marketing dollar. And it is based on generating leads and closing transactions from Facebook Live with a $20 ad spend. So one of the case studies is earning $52,000 from just a $20 ad spend with a call to action. But I have two young ladies. One is Cassandra Sneed. Another one is Nicole Wheatley, who within a year of coming into the world of real estate were both earning six figures. Both of them create a lot of video content. Actually, Cassandra Sneed's average video is 8 seconds. So go figure that one out. 8 seconds, but every day she's going to post a video. And what I love about Cassandra Sneed is that she started off as an unwedded mother on public assistance. In September of 2020, she had our first $1 million sales month. That means that in 1 month, she earned, right, what it would have taken her over 7 years to earn on public assistance. She, the next year, she had a 6-figure year. Now her daughter is also a licensed real estate broker. So my goal with any real estate professional is how do we get you to 6 figures? And because if you look at all the costs, your taxes, everything, 6 figures is about where I think everybody wants to be minimally, right? And so I have case study after case study that if you're consistent, you can earn this, but it's not just to earn it. It is also to have net income. So I operate at a 3% cost of goods sold with a 59% profitability because I'm not buying leads. I'm generating leads. And that's really the core of our business. If you're not generating leads, this is a sales and marketing position. And if you're not consistently marketing in order to sell, right, then you're not going to have a sustainable real estate business.
Wow. I love that. I love that. So for any new keynotes that you're going to be doing, is there anything new that you're going to be kind of sprinkling in there? Can we get any kind of behind the scenes, like what's on the up for the next couple of keynotes that you're going to be doing? Are you going to be spinning it out, checking it up a little bit?
Well, to me, what it was all about this year was how to pay your taxes off, right? So I paid the IRS off. I paid them $152,910. But I pay myself a bonus. I have a luxury lease. I have a SEP, self-employment pension fund set up. And so now it's not just about selling real estate. It's about what is that exit strategy? What type of legacy are you looking to leave here? But more importantly, can we get some net income? And I'm incorporating, because I had to implement new systems to get there, right?
Yeah.
But I had to also reduce my cost to get there. And then the next thing is operating with chronic disease. I did have 3 surgeries in 65 days, and I took 94 days of paid time off because I still paid myself every 2 weeks. My checks did not stop coming in. And if you have your business set up, you can do that, but very few of us can do that in the world of real estate. So I'm bringing in operating through chronic disease, because what I do know is I am not the only realtor who has lipedema. I'm not the only realtor who has a chronic disease. It's a lot of us. And we are operating in the midst of pain with no exit plan. And that is not fun. So really let's get our business in order. If we're entrepreneurs, let's have a true business that generates us a salary and allows us to plan for retirement.
Amen. Because I'll tell you what right now, that you get your real estate license and they go through the tests, but it doesn't teach you like business degree, marketing degree, business techniques, like tax strategies, get yourself a good CPA. I mean, we've had countless.
You got to write an offer.
Yeah.
It does not. There's not an executed sales contract in that whole class, right?
Yes. And you know, I'm not saying anything, don't want to get into politics right now. It's just where is the leadership from that forefront? Like us as individuals need to come together to serve and support one another based off of our own 30, 40 years, whatever it is in the business, learning the hard way to be able to make that happen. So I think whoever's listening right now, definitely go follow Marki for sure. Cause I think that being able to pay yourself consistently and you have those funds and you have that separated and the way that you're organizing everything, I'm sure it saved you a lot of taxes. And a lot of people listening right now, I want to know about that. So definitely take that consideration for everyone who's listening out there. And I think the last question I have before we do open the floor up to you to leave what you want to leave for our viewers and listeners is, so if 90% of the business is done by the top 10% of real estate professionals, just like top 10% are the ones that are actually taking what they learn from your keynotes and applying it to their business to have massive success, give us some context as far as like, what is your prediction? What do you see this industry going? Do you see that those other 90% agents that are doing a deal here and there are going to all go bye-bye? And it's just going to be more, is it getting more competition? Are we seeing? Is it just going to be more of the top 10%? And then is it going to be technology like Open Door and all that type of stuff automating? Like, you've been in the business for a while, you do a lot of keynotes, you meet a lot of agents, you see the technology. What's your thoughts?
So my thoughts are we're now at over 1.6 million realtors. We're going to lose a large percentage of those who've come in the past 18 to 24 months. One, because they don't have a business plan. I do believe that we are going to see some thinning, right, of the current agent population because a large percentage do not close a real estate deal, period. They're not earning money. This is a hobby, right? As a result. I will say that those agents, that top 10%, they should be able to hold on to market share. But I believe right now for the next couple of years, they're going to have the ability to discover inventory in new ways that they've never used in the past because we still have a inventory issue. And there are some strategies. I tell everybody I think they should take the ABR course because we are also going to see some changes as a result of the Department of Justice, which then means that we need to be able to implement an exclusive buyer representation agreement with an offer of compensation, or buyer agents. They're not going to have a place in the future. Yep. Let's be clear. They're not going to have a place in the future. But that listing agent, which we would say that 10% almost are exclusively listing agents, their ability to garnish or new market share is going to become the fact that they're going to implement new strategies on the buyer side, okay, that they had never used before. So they're not going to just garnish that because they are doing the same thing. They're going to have to do something new because it's going to be a buyer agent issue in the future when they come to the MLS and they don't see an offer of compensation. Now, how do you negotiate getting paid, and how do you negotiate getting an exclusive buyer representation agreement?
Wow. Hey, you heard it here first. Everyone out there, really, really good information. And I have to say, Marki, this is amazing because I think that for the viewers and listeners, this is not like, we're not joking here. This is serious. And I got to say that I really appreciate what you're bringing to the table, because it really is. Like, this is where we're headed. And if you don't, like, shit or get off the pot. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why Real Estate First Technology is here. You know, thanks to our sponsor, Liftoff, because we want to add value to this industry to take it to that next level. And that's why we scouted you. And we're so appreciative for you being on today's episode. So I'm going to change up the camera angle. It's on you now. Marki, what do you want to leave for our viewers and listeners as we close out our show today?
My favorite quote is, technology will never replace an agent, but an agent with technology will replace an agent without it. I did birth a second generation realtor. He's 25 years old. He's kicking butt. I see the tools that he's implementing. What I would encourage that average realtor age 54 to do is they have to embrace the next generation, but they have to do it in a transparent, organic way. And note that person, you got to give them credit for being the thought leader. You have to give them credit for the fact that they're going to teach you something new. But we need to all start embracing the next generation in order to remain relevant, because how they're conducting business is a little bit different than how we do it.
Wow. That was eloquent, man. Marki, thank you so much for being on Real Estate First Technology. This was just a pleasure. This was a treat.
Thank you. Sure. I appreciate it.
Of course. Dan, thanks so much for co-hosting as always.
Yeah, for sure. This was amazing. Thank you, Marki.
Thank you.
And to all of our viewers and listeners, now's the time. Comment below. What did you learn? You had to learn something today, as it is our intention for you to apply things to your business that you learn here at Real Estate vs. Technology to have more massive success. And we will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching Real Estate vs. Technology, this week's brand new episode, and making it to the end, your real one. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified for new episodes that come out every single week on Fridays at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. Also, if you comment on this episode and you like the episode, you'll help this episode get out to more individuals. And if you want to join our Facebook group page, just click a link. It's a Facebook icon on our profile page here on our YouTube channel. Join our group page, network with individuals all across the world, and share what technology you're using to grow your business. The next link is to join our Real Estate vs. Technology brand new IG or Instagram page. If you go on any of our stories, you can see who's going to be on Real Estate vs. Technology before it actually goes live on our YouTube channel. And the last link would be if you want to be on an episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. You pick a date and a time. We'll deep dive into your story and technology you're using to share that with other individuals that view our episodes weekly to inspire, enlighten, show up, and show out for people that love to watch these type of podcasts to have more success in their own business. Thank you so much for your continued support. We appreciate it. We will see you on the next one.